We are live.
Amazing.
Hello, people.
It's working.
Yes, my
Hello. All right, then I'm going to call on the sales. Okay.
Nós não usamos esta semana passada. Porque nós passamos sempre de som de manhã.
Só para ajudar o
Marta,
Ok.
és diferente.
Vou ter que pôr a música por também no MCP. E não somos abaixados? Não.
Olha, é a segunda data que tu apareces e o meu PC deixa de funcionar. Não sei o que é que se passa.
Mas agora não vou nada.
So, welcome to my opening speech, and thank you all for being here. We will get through some things more about me, just as a reminder. I'm a really passionate person. I think it really came from the fact that I did track and field as an individual sport, and it made me live for my passion, then get more ownership about what I want to do and my mistakes. I am a really positive and joyful person, and I truly do think that having an optimistic mindset is a way of dealing with situations and how we do things. And then something coming more both from my AIESEC experience and the kind of experiences that I am doing is that I truly find myself being a challenger in the things that we do, situations, wanting to just bring out the best out of everything that we do. And also being an authentic person, what you see is really what you will get. And I truly try to bring out the best colors of people in order to develop them. And something that I am proudly carrying as a social role, and I think that it truly does characterize me as a person. I'm an AIESEC, more than like 3.5, 4 years now in the organization, and I think that it is actually a privilege, and it's something that I'm always saying. Being an AIESEC and developing in yourself value-driven leadership and being able to represent this everywhere is actually that we hold as a privilege. Which actually also gets me to the point of where it all began, like officially in the process, in this post, where I had, let's say, more of a like intimate spark in myself, and this is something that I'm always saying, that it is a privilege to be an AIESEC, and more or less after coming in Portugal and seeing and interacting with people, and actually feeling more inspired and inspired to what I'm doing, I really felt that it's a privilege to be an AIESEC of AIESEC in Portugal, and it does feel like a commodity. It's one of the major reasons that I apply. Other than this, I truly am really empowered and driven from the how of our organization, the how of our essence, the fact that we are developing leadership, we are the leaders doing the things, world would not be the same if we're not leaders of AIESEC doing and delivering things out there. And also something that is intriguing more every day that I am living my AIESEC experience even better and wider, let's say, is the ambitious question that we have: what would happen if we engage and develop every single person? And every single Portuguese person at this point. So, in order to get a bit more about my vision, I actually broke it a bit more down into the things that made me like structure more to myself. Now, recognize glory. It has to do with the potential, as I also talked about and said more in my application. Oh, I want to go. Nice. Yes, and it has to do with who are we that they are going to recognize the potential. Of course, it's the entity, and it also acts as a whom. We recognize the potential that we have, and we are the ones that should do it. Then, lead by essence, it is what we need to do, what we need to act for. We need to be acting by our AIESEC values and actually being more actively doing this in order to see how we can develop the membership more into the way that all of these beautiful things that are bringing AIESEC into us. And then act Portugal, which is how we should do this. I am seeing a huge shift from what I know. Yes, I didn't live in the entity, but I know things from the context, you guys, and people that are going through a more holistic view on how we're doing things. We are acting more united than ever in this entity, and this is something we should definitely capitalize and continue even more, to do it also through a strategic way. Now, here you can see some of my strategies. Here you can see that I have added a measure of successes, which after reading my application without anxiety, having it sent, and also doing some calls for feedback, I realized that there were some things that I actually did not give such big clarity to you guys, which is something I really wanted to bring in this opening speech of mine. So, as you can see, I have broken down the strategies, and I have also developed a bit more on a wider range about the expansions. I will start going through this way. First of all, having to do with recruitment, on the way that I'm envisioning things, I think that we can see that there is a major bottleneck in the way that we have membership currently in our AIESEC. And this is something that we need to change. And I know change management by defeating might be something that also comes with risks, but it's something that we can try. And what I am proposing in the way that I would like to see recruitment happening is to have something of more of an ongoing process, seeing how we can recruit people in the end of the queue, collecting the leads, and then doing the onboarding by the teams, apart from VPMXP, which will be more responsible of recruitment, as they already are. And as you can see, maybe it's a bit more unclear, but I will lay it for you. How we can actually be going on with an attraction in social media, which is not overbearing our people, and this is not actually, causing a bit of overworking in the way that we will be doing recruitment. And how we can do this having a more bigger brand awareness, because if we are actually talking on class out or more on our social platform about the fact that AIESEC is also an organization doing membership experience, and not only in the moment of recruitment, I think this will be a huge boost to having more people coming into our AIESEC. Then, this is also something that can be boosted more in the first semester, and we can see how it is happening and actually adapt it more to the entity. Now, I brought some more measure of success into the profit and the programs pillar. I had in my application 1K experiences being delivered by the end of 2026 because I'm envisioning something more long-term for the entity, not only for my term, but also for the way to become my successor. And I think that in my term, what will be achieved will be 700 approvals. And it will be the way that it will also create the jump for the way to become my successor to go to the 1K. And then you can also see in profit that the major measure of success would be the equity that we are having in the entity and how we can see our resources growing, which is actually supported by the structure that I have built. Now, in terms of the expansions, I think that an entity that is needed to develop more, of course, I'm not neglecting how we are in the current state of our local committees and what we need to do more in terms of the recruitment and anything boosting the membership that we currently have and will have. But I think in order to make bigger brand awareness and also see results growing, we do need expansions, which cannot be something managed only by one person. This is why I'm bringing the idea of having an expansions manager in the second semester. So what is basically happening? Based on analysis in the first semester, having to do with the market, the university relations, how we are working with people, what we can do, and which product would be the most suitable done by the team. We will see when we can actually have the expansions. I'm proposing Porta Católica, Aveiro, and Villarreal. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. It's okay, I can learn. And this is the way we see what can happen and where it can happen more structured, have a plan by UD, and in the second semester, having an expansion manager that will actually manage what is happening in the expansions and have specific plans for each and every one of them. So, this is all for my opening. I hope you got a clear image of what I wanted to bring out more with my vision, with my strategies. Of course, any type of questions, you know, we'll get to see it through the day. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today, for actually giving me the inspiration to apply for this entity, for actually giving me the ambitions that I am seeing in the entity, because of course it's coming from its people. And yes, thank you all, and see you in the rest of the process.
Nessa altura,
Só por isso. Jesus. Acho que a habilidade de edição e botão começa a não sei,
Do you hear?
muita atenção. É o cuidado que eu tenho.
They hear now. Also, we can also present the screen parallel in order to watch
To see the presentation.
Yes.
But it's not there. I don't have a presentation.
Can you ask them?
Can someone needs to be present?
Okay. As you now hear, everything is better already.
It's a very long way.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. So we're good, yeah? All good?
some things about myself. The first thing that you probably already know is that I'm a proud Romanian person, but I haven't been a proud Romanian person always. And another fact that you need to know about myself is that I really, really enjoyed the year 2016. Why? Because it was a year when I had my first exchange. I went in France for 2 weeks in an exchange. And then after that, I joined a project, an IGV project as a participant, which was called Discover. I probably told you about this already. This was actually my first interaction with AIESEC. And what I can tell you is that when I started interacting with those people, I was a bit confused because I didn't understand their culture, I didn't understand them overall, because we had people coming from all over the world in 2016, like they were coming from Sri Lanka, from India, from Syria even. And talking to them, I started understanding a bit better what is their culture, what is their reality. And this was also a moment that made me realize that I can get out of my comfort zone. And this was a monumental experience for me because after this event, I actually joined AIESEC. And today, I also wanted to tell you a bit about myself and also some things that you probably know and some things that you don't. I probably told you already that I joined AIESEC when I was 17 years old. But what you don't know is that my parents always disapproved of AIESEC. And for 2 years, I keep on hearing all the time, week by week, Andrea, don't go there. AIESEC is not meant for you. You're not supposed to be part of AIESEC. Why are you doing this? And, I didn't listen to them, to be honest. Like, I keep on hearing this, but I refuse to listen to it. Because I had that drive inside of me that was saying, okay, you need to do this, you need to change your life. Because doing that approval, doing those results will help you change your life. And so I did. And another thing that you probably know about myself is that I've been in AIESEC, if you also do the math, for 7 years. But I actually gave up AIESEC for 6 months at some point because I couldn't find myself in it anymore and because I wasn't the best version of myself. But what you should really know is that I had someone who chose me. Even though I didn't choose AIESEC, someone chose me for it. And that person motivated me and made me come back as a VP. At the moment that I joined the organization after those 6 months, I actually knew what a privilege it was to be part of AIESEC. And honestly, after so long, I can say that I'm really happy that I came back because I became an LCP afterwards, which I was an LCP for 2 years. And something that you probably also don't know about myself is that I was an LCP because I had to. Because there was no one in my LC that could take the responsibility. No team leader, no EB, no one wanted to do this. It was just me. And I decided to take the step forward to do it. And this was a really transforming experience for me, the LCP experience, which you're also here. And this experience motivated me and grew me so much. Then I decided to care more about my country. This was the first moment when I was an LCP that I actually cared about Romania as a country. And then I decided to apply in MC, and I was part of AIESEC in Romania. And a really beautiful thing that came out of it was the idea of taking Romania everywhere. And 6 months ago, a really nice group of people also chose me to be part of their entity, which was you. And they told me a lot of things. And some of those things was how to act for Portugal, how to act for your country, how to strive every day to do everything to make sure that the young people of Portugal get a chance. And this was what I wanted to do in my AIESEC experience, to actually find a group of people that are willing to do this. I will move on. Excuse me. Why? Because I want to go to my vision, which you probably know already, which is disruptive growth. And I wanted to explain to you why we need disruptive growth. Because I feel that Portugal and AIESEC in Portugal needs to go into this direction right now. Because in the last 2 years, we've been constantly dropping in terms of membership. We've been constantly dropping until this year in terms of exchange, in terms of the capacity that our people have. At this point, AIESEC in Portugal doesn't have a moment to lose. This is the only direction that AIESEC in Portugal should take, disruptive growth. Because if we're not here to grow disruptively, why are we here for? If we don't choose AIESEC, if we don't choose AIESEC in Portugal, why are we here? And I'm also here and telling you about disruptive growth because at some point, 3 people, which were my young people, told me, Andrea, we cannot impact 200 people in 12 months. This is too much for us. And then, after 12 months, we ended up impacting 1,000 people. So whenever someone is telling me, no, this is too much for me, we cannot do this, I don't believe them. And I think we need to grow disruptively because of the legacy that we have. Because at this point, we're doing 10% of number of approvals that has been done in 2016, 2017. Above 10%. And because of the legacy of all these people, of all these generations that work hard, that put passion into making Portugal a better place, this is why we should be here. This is why we should dedicate our time to it. And because it's possible, because me as MCP, I really want to see this mindset in the people of turning the impossible into let's make it possible. And I wanted to go a bit more specific into what I want to do during my MCP term, which is the first thing, exchanges, because exchanges are the core of what we do. You also have here some more detailed KPIs and some more information regarding what I want to do. I really want to emphasize on the fact that I really want to start building a sales capacity inside the entity, and I really want to make sure that everyone inside AIESEC in Portugal will have a sales culture. People will know how to do sales. People will start believing in the products. I want to start having people going in IXPs, in leaderships, actually understanding what is the purpose of AIESEC through interacting with IR, interacting in different cultural environments. I want to reshape marketing at local level, and I want to make sure that we're growing our GV, because this will be my focus product, GV, specifically GV, as you can see there, but also IGV. Then brand awareness. Why I decided brand awareness? Because as you currently know, we're not very visible overall at LC level and at MC level. And I think it's very important to understand how we can actually support through external relations and through brand awareness the exchanges that we do in AIESEC, which means creating partnerships with embassies, which means creating alumni relations that are actually supporting us, and contacting city halls to help us with funds and relations. And the last one, which is stable resources. This is basically the financial growth, the increasing the number of LCs, because as you know, we've been dropping in the number of LCs that we've been having in the last 2 years, and I think that this needs to stop. But this does not mean that we'll not focus on the current LCs. We want to make them grow, but we also want to make more LCs grow, and membership, because this is a continuous struggle that we currently have. And how I want to do this, basically with doing the expansion model, I want to focus a bit also on the EST side. This will be a focus of my own, of course, and to make sure that our EBs are delivering exchanges. And in the end, I just wanted to tell you that I really think that AIESEC in Portugal needs disruptive growth, and AIESEC in Portugal needs people who choose to live for it. Thank you.
is, well, I'm wearing a tie, so what can be more stereotypical than MCP PT and even if we are wearing a tie? Before I tell you about my vision, I want to tell you something. I'm not sure if I want to do this. I'm not sure if I want to do this. That's what I was thinking when I was filling out the form to join AIESEC in February 2020. I had many fears, to be honest. I had the fear of not feeling part of the organization. I had the fear of not being able to balance it with university. And at the same time, I also wanted to meet people from other parts of the world. At the same time, I also wanted to understand what leadership means. So I'm not sure I want to do this, but let's go. And I wanted to join AIESEC also because I had an exchange in 2018 that changed my perspective about the world. It developed in more in 2 months than I developed in 2 years. So when I came back to my hometown, Fortaleza, I was like, I want to become more of a world citizen. I want to live this more. So I joined AIESEC in February 2020. I joined to understand what leadership means, to develop my skills, to meet people from other nationalities. And throughout these 5 years in the organization, there were 2 main lessons that I learned. The first lesson is, if you see a problem, you have 2 options. You can run away from it and delegate it, or you can take ownership and be part of the solution. The second lesson that I learned through AIESEC is that you need to speak up and step up, even when it's hard. And that is why I'm applying for AIESEC in Portugal. That's why I'm applying for MCP of this entity. And I'm applying not only because of the things I love about this entity, I'm applying also because of what bothers me. And this is what sets me on fire to lead you. It's what bothers me about you. It bothers me that our HR has consistently been dropping in the last 4 years. It bothers me that at times it feels like we have to beg people to apply for a leadership position. Some people see leadership positions as something negative, and it bothers me that they don't see it as a privilege, as an opportunity to create more experiences. It bothers me that we have an average of 0.6 approvals per member. It bothers me that there are members that reach the quota without understanding what it means to exchange business. We have members that have never seen created an exchange. And when you talk about approvals, we're not talking about approvals just to go for the sake of going up in the rankings. We're talking about creating exchanges to develop leadership. And it bothers me that even though we're an organization with 65 years, we still struggle with brand awareness, even inside the universities where we're inside. And it bothers me that we don't have the financial sustainability we deserve. It bothers me because AIESEC has shaped into who I am. AIESEC has taught me about leadership. AIESEC has given me so many connections, so many opportunities in the last 5 years. AIESEC gave me the courage to be here, to be stepping up, even though it makes me nervous, even though it makes me feel judged and vulnerable. AIESEC made me also create new connections and have new opportunities the last 5 years. And I want more members, I want more people to have these opportunities that I had. And here are 6 things I love about you, AIESEC in Portugal. First of all, I love our legacy and what we've done in the last 65 years. Secondly, I love how for me, AIESEC in Portugal is a mixture of home with new challenges. You made me feel at home, and at the same time, you're a totally different challenge, even though I've been MC in other entities. And the third thing I love about AIESEC in Portugal is how AIESEC is relevant for Portugal. That word I don't love it, but yes. And the third thing I love is how AIESEC is relevant for Portugal, because xenophobia has grown 500% in the last 5 years. 20% of the population of Portugal is at the risk of poverty. So AIESEC is relevant for Portugal more than ever. And AIESEC has taught me to step up for what I believe in. And I believe and envision an entity that owns our future and exchange beyond. Own our future is about understanding, respecting our legacy, and is also taking actions to move forward, to create the next 65 years of the organization. An exchange beyond means surpassing every mindset to create more and more exchanges every single day in Portugal. And to achieve this, I have separated my strategy into 4 pillars. Membership. So how can we how can I build capacity building in our membership? How can we capitalize on the recruitment, on pre-attraction as well? Brand. How to capitalize on our APs to be brand ambassadors? How to consistently position ourselves across social media, across digital presence? Third, exchanges. How do we become top choice for our IR partners? And fourth, finances. How do we ensure sustainable AIESEC in Portugal? So these are my 4 pillars. I'm sure that you have questions, and I cannot wait to answer to each one of them in the Q&A. I'm ready to own our future in exchange beyond. Are you? Thank you.
So, officially, we are done with the first part of the process, which is our opening speeches. Now we're going to take a break until 45 so that I can prepare, make sure we have the external panel working logistically for the person who's hosting the panel, okay? I will ask you all just to go outside so that we can organize this, and then you can, I don't know, go to the bathroom, breaks,
Hello, people. We will come back at 12:45 or your time zone 45 with a better quality in camera and see you.